They live among us, not just hunters or gatherers, but givers, driven not by personal gain, but by personal connection and concern for others. What do these givers look like? Where do they come from?
I think that givers are born, and I think that givers who are born can help bring other people along.
Natural givers are profoundly different than others.
I think there's something that makes them a different kind of person. Just to know they will give something, whether it's out of their bank account or just out of their schedule.
I believe that true generosity, a true giver, often gives out of their scarcity, vice their plentifulness.
I've never been generous once, but I've seen people be generous, and it seems a little like, all right, if you want to give it away.
We need it all in this world. We need the people who write the checks. Thank God for the people who write the checks. We need the people who give their talent, and we need the people who give their time. And with those three ingredients, we can do things that change the world.
With her sizable donation that helped get the Bob Woodruff Foundation off the ground, Helen Persson was a giver whose generous spirit will continue to fuel and inspire us for many years to come.
Helen Persson was an amazing person. She personified generosity. She was generous to vets, she was generous to the arts, generous to education. She lived the way I want to live.
Lee called me and says, "You're not going to believe this, but we got a check from someone in Florida, and it's for $1 million.
I sat down and started to cry. I couldn't believe it.
Tonight, we identify two more givers we recognize as generous persons, Bob Jeffrey and Caroline Hirsch.
Caroline and Bob were really what has made the foundation what it is.
I remember being very intimidated, like the Caroline is in the room, and now I know that I should be scared of her. She's very, very intimidating.
She made us an offer that we couldn't refuse. She and Andrew Fox took me to lunch, and they said, "We want to do something." I'll never forget her saying this. She said, "I've seen so many boys not come back, from Vietnam, and I don't want to let that happen in this war."
It's a real high honor to be invited to perform there, and I think a lot of that has to do with Caroline's involvement.
I think people who will give generously of their time and money and energy like Caroline should be acknowledged to inspire other people to act in a similar fashion.
Bob is the one who is the creative man. He's the one that created this brand for us.
Just when we needed to kind of figure out who we were and make a stamp on the world, Bob Jeffrey and his team at J. Walter Thompson at JWT came in and just completely helped us figure out our message, who we were, and how we would brand that.
It always takes time for these causes too, and it always takes time to come home and visit the family, see how the family's doing.
He's been enormously generous with sharing everything that he's acquired for himself and for his family with many other people, oftentimes kind of really understated. He's that sort of person who does it very quietly and probably doesn't even want the fanfare associated with the giving.
Character's doing the right thing when no one's looking, and that's the story of Bob's life.
And I'm really proud of everything that we've been able to accomplish, but it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the steadfast dedication of our board and Caroline coming year after year to help us build Stand Up for Heroes, which is our marquee event, and Bob Jeffrey really thinking through strategically how can you align the entertainment and media access and the goodwill of all of these people that Bob and Lee's story resonates with.
I want to say to Helen and to Caroline and to Bob, thank you.
You know, Caroline and Bob, I just can't thank you enough for this. I know you don't want any awards and honors and things like that. It's like a little pebble inside the pond. But you've done so much for this. I don't think we could have pulled this off at all without the two of you.
Best of luck, God bless you, and everything ahead. Semper Fidelis, my friend.